Leprosarium, located on the outskirts of Accra, stands as a refuge for individuals battling the effects of leprosy. Though the disease is not curable, those who have been afflicted often suffer lifelong physical disabilities and face deep societal stigma. The Leprosarium provides not just medical care, but also shelter and hope for victims who have been abandoned by their families and the wider community in the country.
74, 75 years ago, the lepers were staying over in Lebadi, and the chief didn't want any leper on his land, so he kicked them out. And they were to go to Cape Coast. But Garkuzum, a leper doesn't cross a river because they'll defile the river. They defiled the river. So they couldn't cross the Densu. So somebody bought this land for them here. There's all this big plot of land, they bought it for them. And they put it was called Achiaa Aboagye. Achiaa means out of the way, you deserted. So it's here about 74 years now.
However, despite its critical role in the country, the institution is plagued by numerous challenges, including financial constraints, inadequate healthcare facility, and the persistent societal stigma surrounding leprosy.
I got a message from God. And God said to me, "You haven't finished your work. Go and help the poor." And that's what brought me to live here, to give my whole life looking after people who are forgotten, people who are neglected, people whose families, they don't care.
The Weija Leprosarium heavily relies on donations and support from philanthropists, but the financial aid is often inconsistent and insufficient.
Oh yeah, the Common Fund also gave me money every quarter. The rest of the time, I have to find the money for the running of the place here. And how do I do that? I beg. I'm known as a beggar priest. I'm always begging, always begging. I have this scheme called Adopt a Granny. And people who come here and donate to us, I ask them to adopt somebody. And every month, give me money towards an upkeep of one leper. So it could be 100 CDs, could be 50, could be 200 or 500, whatever it is. And maybe your birthday, you'll give a little extra. So this is how we survive. Donations from people who come in and visit us and see what we are doing here. That's what keeps us going.
There is a lack of government funding to ensure the facility runs smoothly and meets the needs of the residents.
They give us around quarterly, maybe 600,000, which we buy food and medication for. We give them that. But day to day, they get 4 CDs from the Leap. 4 CDs, they cannot live on that. And the most expensive expense I have is taking care of the medical care. And this is what worries me. Leprosy ailment is free of charge. But you go to and you get an ECG, or you get a scan, or you're given a blood test to do. They have to pay for it. And we don't have the money to pay for the blood tests. We don't have the money to pay for an ECG or a scan, so they go home.
The Weija Leprosarium is in dire need of intervention from both the government and the general public. They are calling for some allocation funds from government to improve healthcare services, infrastructure, and living condition of the victims.
Especially for the medical conditions, there's some money put aside in those hospitals, so when they go there, if they need a scan or a blood test, they don't have to pay for it. So there should be an allocation of money for these things, so they're not just thrown aside and say, sorry, I can't help you. This should be, because they're Ghanaians, they're our own people here.
Stigma is a major challenge, and they are calling for the establishment of social welfare program to support recovered patients in reintegrating into society. Speaking with Bullet TV, Father Campbell called for policy implementation to promote awareness to fight the stigma surrounding leprosy in the country.
The biggest problem we have It's stigma. We need education here that it's not contagious. That a cured leper is not contagious. Look at me. I'm here 51 years. 51 years since I started taking care of the people here and other places. And look at me. Do I have leprosy? I hug them. I shake hands with them. I do that. I don't have it. They're normal people, but we don't give them a normal life.
They say public education on leprosy should be intensified to debunk myths and reduce discrimination against those affected with leprosy.
One day of every January is World Leprosy Day. And that's when we try to take advantage of the World Leprosy Day to let people know the facts and figures of leprosy and how you can get it, how you can avoid it, how you can cure it, and how to treat people who've had leprosy. So maybe we need to do more advertising, more education.
They are calling on individuals, organizations to support them through donations, volunteer work, and advocacy.
I want to encourage as many as possible, those who will listen to me. You're most welcome anytime to come and visit us, see what we're doing here, and to help us, so that I don't want to see anybody hungry here. I don't want to see anybody. I give them the best of medical treatment so that they will never be in need.
Father Campbell and the whole organization is calling on family members not to neglect members having leprosy.
I can't understand. Your own father, your own mother has got leprosy. It's not our fault. You can't blame anybody for getting leprosy. You can get it in so many ways. You can't blame them, but you completely neglect them, completely abandon them. You don't care about this. The man is sick here for the past 2 months. We told the family, they haven't come.
Leprosy is curable, and that those affected should be taken to the hospital for treatment.
The Weija Leprosarium remains a crucial sanctuary for those abandoned due to leprosy. However, without urgent intervention, the challenges facing the facility will worsen, leaving many vulnerable individuals without hope. It is time for the government, corporate bodies, and the general public to take action. As you can see me with Mr. Agri, he is the oldest cured leper at Weija Leprosarium. So have in mind that leprosy is not a curse, and those affected deserve dignity, care, and second chance at life. Achiaa Aboagye, Bullet TV, Weija Leprosarium, Accra.